We are another day to the Scottish transfer market closing, and once again it is Celtic dominating things. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Celtic this, Celtic that. Celtic the only team really making things happen at the moment, whether there's players leaving or whether it's bringing players in. It just all seems to be about Celtic, and we can confirm that Celtic have signed Barcelona left back Valle on loan. So we kind of knew the deal was going to happen, but it has been made official today. So Alex Valle signs on a season-long loan. He's 20 years old now. Obviously, he's coming from Barcelona's secondary team. He has featured on the bench for Barcelona this season, but he hasn't came off the bench. However, I would say that's definitely a step in the right direction that he's actually made. He's made the Barcelona team now. So, yeah, getting loaned out to Celtic though. We'll see if he's any good or not. Is he necessarily coming in to be the number one left back? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I still think it's Greg Taylor's position. I believe that this is just to give Celtic numbers, to give them options so they're not light in that area. I don't necessarily think anyone is expecting Alex Valle, or whatever he's called, to come in and be the number one, but who knows? Maybe we'll see performances. Maybe he will be a lot better than we thought, and then he could very well, become the number one left back. So Brendan Rodgers said the following about the signing. He said, quote, "His footballing style will complement our attacking play as well as giving us more options in our backline. Alex has been brought up in a real high-quality footballing environment, learning all the good habits and skills associated with any top team. He is a player with tremendous attributes." End of quote. And Valle went on to say that he's excited to have the opportunity to play for such a historic club. So yeah, one historic club in Barcelona to another historic club in Celtic. Speaking of Celtic, they've also launched a £5 million bid for Sheffield United and USA defender Auston Truty. So yeah, this again looks like another signing that Celtic could get in over the line. I do think that they need a centre-back. I know people in this channel are in the comments saying, oh no, they've got positions, they've got players at centre-back, but how many good players do they have at centre-back? How many players do they have at centre-back that are worthy of being Cameron Carter-Vicker's partner? Honestly, I think the answer's zero. I mean, Scales has done a good job, and no one can deny that, but I still don't think Scales is the guy. I still don't think Scales is the quality that Celtic want to partner Cameron Carter-Vickers. I don't think they've really had that quality ever since Spfl left. So maybe by signing Auston Truty, they can finally get that player to replace Spfl. But it looks like this will actually happen. I think Sheffield United may be content with the £5 million. And if that's the case, then it's just going to come down to Celtic and obviously Auston Truty agreeing a deal with the contract. But I believe that £5 million should be enough for Celtic to get their man and strengthen their team. And speaking of strengthening their team, Celtic are being said by Sky Sports that they will make an improved £9 million bid for Augsburg's Arne Engels. The Bundesliga club hope to keep the Belgian midfielder, but the 20-year-old is keen on a move. Now, I tell you what, that's a pretty good signing because Augsburg want to keep him. If Celtic can lure a good young player away from the Bundesliga that the current Bundesliga club want to keep, then that's showing intent right there, because normally Celtic wouldn't be able to sign these kind of players, not for like a top league. Normally it would be someone who's out of favour or someone that the club just doesn't want or whatever. He's like way down the pecking order. The fact that Celtic are looking good to get Arne Engels, I think shows that they're beginning to maybe do stuff in the transfer market and make real gains. Maybe we're going to start seeing this money finally spent. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether or not this bid gets accepted. But Augsburg, I mean, if they want to keep him, I'm sure they can just keep rejecting it until they get an offer that they can't refuse? Are Celtic capable of making Augsburg an offer they can't refuse? I don't think so, because I think Celtic would only be willing to go so much money. I mean, they're bidding 9 million for Arnie Engels. Where do they stop? Where do they draw the line? I would have to imagine they're pretty close to that line. Maybe 10, 11, possibly 12. I mean, after that, I'm just not sure it's realistic that Celtic will pay that kind of money. But let's talk about Rangers then. So they're not really looking at bringing anybody in at the moment, but Blackburn Rovers have opened up talks with Rangers over midfielder Todd Cantwell. So they're looking at two options, either a loan option or a permanent switch. So, I mean, they could just do a 2-on-1, maybe a loan, and then at the end of it, make the deal permanent. But yeah, Todd Cantwell, I think his Rangers career is done, and may as well go to Blackburn. Why not? Blackburn's a pretty good club. Obviously, they've got the history of winning the Premier League. Probably would be a good move for Todd Cantwell. And if Rangers can get some money for him and get him off the wage bill, then it's probably a good move for Rangers too. But, this guy coming out, talking about winning trophies, winning more trophies than McGregor. I mean, what's he won? I mean, he's won fuck all. He's won like one Scottish, a League Cup? A League Cup, man. It's hardly worth bragging about. But anyway, let's move on to... Well, let's go back to Celtic. Celtic have agreed to sell Mikey Johnson to Sheffield United for 2.5 million. So, interesting there, obviously. Now, I wonder what will happen here with the fact that Celtic are looking to get Truty. I mean, couldn't we see this deal incorporate it and make it like a 2-for-1 special? I mean, couldn't they just give Mikey Johnson to Sheffield United and then try and allow that to, take off some of Trusty's transfer fee? I mean, I thought that would have been probably the smart thing to do, but whatever. But right now, Sheffield United have agreed a £2.5 million fee for Celtic winger Mikey Johnson. What that tells me is that Celtic selling Mikey Johnson is going to be easier than Sheffield United selling Auston Truty, and that is why the deals just aren't being combined. Let's go back to Rangers though, because Birmingham City want to sign, and I do not know why, but Birmingham City want to sign Rangers winger Scott Wright. So, yeah, they've already got Ben Davis, and now they want Scott Wright. What is it with clubs wanting multiple Rangers players? We're seeing it with Birmingham City now. We've seen it with Trabzonspor. Like, why are these clubs fucking hell-bent on taking, Rangers duds in the hope that they're going to, transform their team around it? It's mental. I mean, these clubs are buying all the Rangers rejects, the players that are past it, the players that Rangers no longer want, the players that, have failed at Rangers, and now we're seeing Birmingham City trying to sign multiple of them. Like, we've seen Trabzonspor already sign multiple of them. Very strange, guys, if you ask me. And that seems to be it. In terms of transfer news, not a lot else really happening right now. Pretty damn quiet. So, yeah, there you go. Just basically all Celtic and a little bit of Rangers transfer news. Everything else non-existent. Will we see any more big moves? I think so. I think Celtic will probably still bring in another 3 or 4 players for the transfer window ends. And, yeah, we could see... I think Celtic could easily spend another 15-20 million before this window ends. That's what I'm expecting to happen. So anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. And overall, what do you think of this transfer window? Has it been good? Has it been poor? It's been a little bit quiet, to be honest, but I do think it's going to pick up these last 4 days. They might be the busiest days we've seen yet, and hopefully they are. Anyway, guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.